What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 22nd episode of Speaking of Stadia, now a GSN podcast. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Aaron Cini, and with me today, as always, is the bearded beauty himself, my favorite John Krasinski on the internet, Too Tall Porter, Jacob. Jacob, how are you?
Yeah, I had a fun day today. I sat down for a 5.5 hour exam, which was really fun. Hopefully I passed.
They hit 6 hours.
It was. I mean, the whole day was 6. It was 6. I was 6 hours total my day, but
fair.
Because it's 5 hours and 25 minutes plus 25-minute break and 10 minutes of like tutorial because it's all like all computerized. So
then you get the pass, your brain is mush, which good thing is I brought in the backup. That's right, the big guns. He is, of course, a host of the Roundtable podcast. He is a integral part of the GSN network. Right down here, I never remember which way to point. We have Avery. Avery, how are you? Welcome to your first time being on Speaking of Stadia.
You know, I didn't have very many rules for when I brought you guys onto the network, but I said I'm gonna have to fiat myself into your show and just take over. So I'm glad that you've bent the knee in that case. No, I'm kidding. I'm so excited to be here. Super great to be on y'all's show. I love watching you guys because you're just hilarious, and I love being around hilarious people. So that makes this a great opportunity for me to be around more hilarious people like yourselves.
Awesome. Dom says, hey, he recognizes that guy. Of course, he means me, who is on this show very consistently. Thank you, Dom, for recognizing me. You know, going out to lunch in public is becoming a real problem. This happens to me all the time. But thank you. I'm glad you recognize people here. Well, Avery, welcome to the show. We're so pumped to have you here. I wanted to start off with just a little bit of housekeeping. In case you missed it, as I said in the intro, we are now a GSN podcast. Avery, would you be so kind as to tell people a little bit about GSN?
Absolutely. The Gaming Source Network is your number one source for all things gaming. GSN is the creative team project of the StadiaSource.com, your number one source for all things Stadia, and GFNSource.com, your number one source for all things GeForce Now. And the umbrella organization of that is right here, the Gaming Source Network. Our YouTube is the Gaming Source Network on YouTube, and that's where we have amazing shows such as, speaking of Stadia, the number one Stadia podcast in all of the Czech Republic. I've not verified that, but I'm pretty sure it's true. And as well, other incredible shows like the GSN Roundtable podcast, where you guys have been regular guests, and now just we'll cycle you in and out as time because you're part of the family. This one hair on my head that's killing me. And of course, great for live video. And of course, brand new shows coming to the network, including yours truly hosting the best game of all time, which will very soon feature these two guys up here duking it out on a very, very near and dear topic to their hearts. But we're not going to tell you anything more about that. You're just going to have to watch Best Game Ever on Gaming Source Network. Find that out.
I will actually spoil one thing about that show, Avery. I am going to destroy Jacob. I wasn't debate champion for nothing. Even if my game is worse, I will make sure my points are seen as the truth.
Okay. Oh my gosh. And importantly, because I'm seeing in the chat, Stadia Source is still Stadia Source. If you head to StadiaSource.com, you will still see it's the number one website for Stadia, like by far the number one website. And it is still out there doing its thing. Here on YouTube, we're the Gaming Source Network, encompassing all of the sources of GSN as well as all of our creative content. So yes, these guys right here are our flagship Stadia podcast, leading the charge, making me look good every other week on Monday nights, verifying that I made a good choice to bring them on. So that's what these guys are in charge of right now, is representing on Stadia side.
Speaking of looking good, we have seen you all over the place this week. You have done so many guest spots. We have a comment in here that says, from Sounds of Stadia to Speaking of Stadia, Avery is very popular indeed, sir.
You'd almost think it's a cry for help. I'm on all the SOS podcasts, but Also on Secret Friends
not
Unite,
intentional, by the
awesome,
way.
which I don't think is out yet. I've done a lot of podcasting the past few days. I'm booked on like a board game podcast this coming weekend,
and I wasn't invited. I feel offended.
And you were not invited. So yeah,
they had to keep it to an hour, Jacob.
My wife is having to like reduce my schedule because she has to book with my assistant now because I don't have time. It's pretty bad.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for letting the people know all about GSN, their number one source for all things gaming. Let's jump into our very first topic of the night, which is and forever will be. Hey, Jake, what you playing?
Not much because I've been studying for that exam.
I've been playing this study game.
I've been playing the FE practice exam. This is what I've been playing. It's been really, really fun. I did play a little bit of stuff. I booted up Disco Elysium and then said, this is just not what I want to play right now after working and then studying or whatnot. So I actually jumped into Piku Niku.
Okay.
And that game is exactly what I needed. That game is like, after a long day of work and studying, jumping into that game was a joy, honestly. I'm not sure if either of you played it. I know Avery has had some takes about it before. It's very Katamari inspired, or like that whole like I'm not sure if you guys have played Wadum at all, the game of Wadum. Probably not. Most people haven't. I demoed that game. Also maybe the guy that makes Katamari, very like the obscure kind of like Japanese humor. But I really do so far enjoy Piku Niku. It's like a kind of like exploration-ish kind of game, like adventure puzzle game. I'm not sure what we want to like call it. With a really quirky sense of humor and to it, and it's just like really lighthearted, just kind of going on and do some stuff. I kicked a watermelon into a basketball hoop at one point. I mean, that was fun. So, but yeah, no, it's a fun little game. And then I've been playing some League of Legends Wild Rift because that's what I do in my spare time because it's like 10 minutes or a game on that. So it works out pretty well.
Excellent. Avery, what about you? What have you been playing lately?
Still Final Fantasy 14. I have not been playing a lot of Stadia. I cycle in and out of Stadia, my Stadia time. So this week has been very light on the Stadia, but I will play something by Thursday.
We talk about in this segment. It's similar to on Roundtable. Whatever you want to talk about game wise, we do play other things. And
90% of the time, Jacob brings up board games.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't played a board game since my birthday, so it's been kind of upsetting.
Yeah, no, I've been packing up my board games. That's about all I've been.
Oh yeah, how is that? That's a fun process.
It's good. Can you actually see? Yes, you can see some cardboard right behind me.
Yeah,
magical.
There's a lot less stuff on the back shelf too.
Yeah, oh, that's true. If I angle myself just right, I don't know. That's not going to work. Okay.
So which room in the mansion is going to be the new studio?
I think literally the studio is going to be set up exactly the same way that this room is.
I love it.
Probably with the lights in the exact same place. Y'all can't see it, but of course this is my work desk, and I have like an IKEA lamp thing here with 2 color bulbs in it, an IKEA lamp thing over here with 2 color bulbs in it, and light strips, and just too much. There's too much in this room, but it's probably going to be literally the exact same thing. In the second bedroom of the 3 bedrooms of the house when we move. So yeah, it's gonna be the same thing. But yeah, game wise, Final Fantasy 14. That's it.
Nice.
I'm kicking it through Stormblood right now, loving it. It's great. I met Lord Hyan, and his theme is the same as Cyan's theme from Final Fantasy VI, which is amazing. So really, really enjoying that game.
That's awesome.
Final Fantasy 6 has a great soundtrack too.
Yes, Nobuo Uematsu is one of the is arguably, not even arguably, the greatest video game composer of all time. With Jeremy Sewell backing him up on that. for Skyrim and Secret of Evermore and so forth. But
I'm partial to Darren
with
Korb
the
from the Super Giant.
Bastion has one of the best soundtracks ever.
Yes.
I love that soundtrack. I will just put that on. I'll tell you 3 things. Number 1, no, you don't need to know number 1. Number 2, like one of the best best soundtracks.
Yeah.
My son has been listening to Celeste on repeat.
Also a phenomenal soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to it too, but he's obsessed with it.
It's a good soundtrack.
Yeah,
Good soundtrack, you guys.
Yeah,
so good.
Speaking of my kid, the thing I've been playing is he sucked me all the way back into Fortnite. We've been just rolling through Fortnite matches. I picked up the battle pass just for fun, and that's been a lot of fun playing that with him. But then tonight, right after this podcast, I am finally starting Judgment on Stadia, and I cannot freaking wait. I have heard nothing but good things about that game. I have no knowledge of anything Yakuza related. So just jumping in blind. Let's see how it goes. So I'm very excited about that.
And speaking of
I should have given you a stream key and you could have streamed it on our channel. It's fine. It's fine.
My bad. Next time. I mean, I'm not going to beat it tonight. I promise you that much. It takes me a little bit to get through these games. And you know what? Speaking of Judgment, what a perfect segue. Let's talk about what's out now, including a little game called Judgment. So Judgment, actually, the remake came to Stadia day 1, as it is on all the other platforms. This comes from a wonderful website. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's called Stadia Source. It is, of course, your number 1 source for all things Stadia. From the team that brought you the Yakuza series comes Judgment, a gritty tale of a disgraced attorney, Takayuki Yagami. I'm going to say that was correct. In his quest for redemption, haunted by his past, he takes up arms as a private detective, clawing his way through Kamurocho's underground crime network to investigate a string of grisly murders. Track suspects, discover clues, and bring evidence to court, but be careful. There are dark characters at every turn. Take advantage of 2 unique battle styles to take down adversaries in electrifying encounters. Packed with Hollywood-worthy combat sequences and cinematic twists and turns, this mystery will surely keep you on your toes. Gentlemen, what do we think? Are we excited about Judgment? My opinion's out there. I said I'm starting it tonight. Either of you guys ever play the Yakuza games? Are you excited about this one?
Not on my list. It looks super fun. I've heard it. I've seen a lot of folks playing it on, and they're loving it. I just don't care, but that's okay because not every game has to be for me. And as long as other people are having fun with it, it's also, we don't have a lot of Sega represented on the platform. So the more Sega, the better. The closer we get to Sonic Mania finally dropping on Stadia.
Fine. I'd rebuy that game on Stadia, honestly, because it's a game I want to do more playthrough stuff. I have no affinity for Yakuza. I do find it very fascinating. I wanted to play them, just like where to start, because they have the zeros. They redid Zero, and then they have there's so many of them. Is it? I guess it's probably a good point to jump in because it's so separate from the rest of the actual series. It's its own story. It takes place in the same universe, obviously, same everything, but it's not the same. It's a new protagonist, so it's a good jumping in point, I think, for most people.
I think that's why I've been excited about it since it first dropped on PlayStation. You know, it got such high praise, and that's what everybody kept saying. I've always wanted to try a Yakuza game just because I know a lot of people really love them. It was never my thing.
I think a few of them have been PlayStation Plus games too. I just never jumped into.
Yeah,
so I think it's one of I think even Zero was actually a PlayStation Plus game. So it is a series I'm interested in because I see so many memes from that game or clips, and it looks like it's such a goofy, fun game. It really just it has a really good sense of humor about it. So. I definitely want to. Would like to give it a try, at least the series in general.
For sure. Well, next episode, speaking of Stadia, come back, check out my thoughts on Judgment, because I'll at least have a couple hours in.
Are you streaming it actually tonight, or are you just playing?
I'm not streaming tonight. I'm just gonna jump in on the couch. I'll be honest.
You just want to play,
but next time I'm gonna stream.
So you're saying that they can come back in 2 weeks to hear your judgment about the game?
That's right. Do you want me to judge this game? Stay tuned.
Ooh.
All right. We also have a couple other games coming out right now, again, from our friends over at Stadia Source. I just tried to scroll in our chat, and that was embarrassing. The first game up is Floor Kids. We've talked about this kind of ad nauseum on this show. It's the cutesy little breakdancing game. It has a very unique art style, and do those head spins and whatnot, as well as the Dark Side Detective, A Fumble in the Dark. We've talked about this on the last roundtable.
Yeah, we said they're coming
on, and as well as the last episode of Speaking of Stadia. We've put out plenty of thoughts on that. But what about you guys? Any interest in picking up either of these?
Dark Side Detective looks really like, I always loved the Sierra Online, point and click adventure stuff, Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion and all this. I loved those games, and so this looks I like the funny style. Sentences and words, I don't have them. It looks like a game I would like. It's also like $15 or $12 or something.
I think it's on sale for like $12 or something like that.
Okay.
It's just gonna go pro. So I'll just play it when it goes pro in a month or two. And then I'm sure it'll be lovely. I'm sure I'll have total fun with it. I don't know that I will play Floor Kids. I don't know that I care about Floor Kids, though. I've heard people compare it to Parappa the Rappa, which I was a fan of back in the day. But I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for the pro sale. It looks fun. I submitted. I will say I might get it for free. I submitted a caption to their caption contest because they're super funny on Twitter. And I don't know if they ever announced those winners. So who knows? I might get a code.
There you go.
Sort of Avery. Like, I mean, Floor Kids, I like the art style. Looks really cool. Game, not my personal preference for games. But no, I definitely find the Dark Side Detective is interesting, but as well as Avery, it's a game, especially with a game that has a sequel that's coming in a state, or is that the sequel's out, right?
The sequel came out around the same time, or no, they came out roughly close.
Season 2,
but it was supposed to be. We were supposed to get season 1 for free, and then we didn't.
Yeah, so we know it's going to be a pro game like in 2 months. So yeah, especially with them, like a game that usually has a sequel coming out, they'll do the other first one for the pro, which would have made sense for this release at the same time. But it's unfortunate we didn't get it at the same time. But yeah, I'm excited to play it when it comes to pro. Should be fun.
Awesome. I don't have much interest in either of these. I will try the detective game when it's free, just to mess around with it and see if it's as quirky as everybody says. I hope the writing is really funny. Like, that's about as much as I'm hoping out of that. And I'm not trying to be a downer on the breakdance game. I think the art style is super fun, and I think it fits the vibe really, really well for what they're going for. Yeah. I just can't picture me playing it for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be one of those, like, it comes out on pro. It'll come out on pro, and I'll be like, oh, this thing. And then I'll boot it up. And then maybe I'll press start, or I'll be like, never mind.
You might just look at the menu and just be like, you know what?
It's honestly kind of what I did with Disco Elysium the other night. It was like, I just wasn't feeling it. I booted it up, like, was in the first room, like, nah, I just can't do this right now. It's too dense.
It's a bit more thinky of a game. It's way too dense to deal with right now.
Yeah, right.
But no, it seems like I booted it up and it was like, no.
Good.
But I actually do want to play that game.
Well, that's what's out currently. Let's talk about what's coming in the near future. Avery, hit the theme song.
Green Acres is the place to be. Far living is the light for me. Land spread out so far and wide.
I don't know this reference.
Just give me that farming simulator side.
Nailed it! I knew you would. I was like, I'm gonna put him on the. I'm gonna put him on the spot on a whim. Let's see how he does.
I am a child of TV Land. Like, oh yeah,
love it.
Green Acres, starring Eddie Albert and Zsa Zsa Gabor.
See, I couldn't have gotten that far. I could have singing you the song, but that's.
It's a very wealthy New York lawyer decides to take him and his wife to live on a farm in the middle of backwoods country, and he's never farmed before, and she can't. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Jacob Krasinski Porter. You don't know about Green Acres? Oh my goodness, these kids these days. Anyways, Farming Simulator 22 is announced and officially confirmed for Stadia. What a funny thing. It's not Stadia, it's the Farming Simulator piece. It always makes me just kind of chuckle. This year's version of the hit Farming Sim promises to be bigger and better than ever. New crops, new maps, new machines, and new brands are just a little taste of what budding digital farmers can expect to see. With over 400 machines from over 100 authentic agricultural brands, players can look forward to the most realistic digital farming experience possible. It does say that the Stadia version of Farming Simulator 22 will support multiplayer up to 16 people and should be dropping this fall.
Awesome.
Avery, I'm going to bring it to you first. How do you feel about Farming Simulator coming to Stadia?
You know, there has to be, I have to imagine there's a big community underneath this game.
Yes.
So I have to imagine
all the sim games, like Trucking Simulator 2, all those games, they have a huge following.
Crazy. And I have to imagine there's like somebody who saw this announcement and is just sitting there going, oh, finally, I might get the Takayosho tractors that I've always been waiting for. And then it's going to come out and they're going to be like, dang it. They didn't release the Takayosho track. I've been waiting for 19 versions. I'm never going to get my Takayosho tractors or whatever. I just made that up. Who knows?
I was going to ask. I was like, is Takayosho a real tractor company?
It will be. I'm looking at lawnmowers right now, so it could be. But if this is your game, more power to you. I know good friend of the channel, Adam, Original Penguin on Twitter, is super big into this game. He back in December or January, I can't remember. It's been a while. We did a 24-hour live stream. Oh, it was around the Stadia anniversary. We did a 24-hour live stream. And he took 12 hours and I took 12 hours. And I know he played some Farming Sim on some of that time, but he also like did a super chat at me when I was like 11 and a half hours into this stream at it must have been 3 a.m. my time. And he was like, play some Farming Simulator. I'm like, I'm already what do you want me to? Okay, we're going to put the canola over here in the, oh God. Like, no, it's not my game. It's not my game.
Fair. Jake, how do you feel? You are silent.
He
sir.
Is stunned silent by the capability. Not only
you
is
look very animated.
silent,
we just wanted to be able to hear you.
I don't think we have connection to Jake anymore. I think Jake is there. He
says what? There's he is confused. Eyeballs. For audio listeners checking out the podcast later, Jacob has no opinion on this. Jacob, cut me off at any point once your mic starts working. I do see you there.
Just head to youtube.com/gaming source network if you want to see what it is that we're talking about.
I realized I was typing and I muted myself. I got so into it too. I was so hyped.
You were, and then I just see you like reach towards your mic and then go.
There's a mute button on StreamYard so that you don't have to do your hardware.
No, but like that's so. This is so easy. Is there no? You're actually. I should probably use that more. No, I'm joking. I was joking. If you guys missed the visual part of it, if you're watching this later, I get really hyped about it. No, it's a game I want my wife to actually try to play because my wife actually part of her job is to help farmers a lot. Like she works for NRCS, giving them like money to do stuff that's good for endangered species and stuff like that. So it's like she works with all these loggers and stuff like that. So I think it'd be kind of fun to like just play around that with her one night. Then we have one of them, the last one that's on Stadia. I forget which one. Is 19. It 19 or 20? Yeah. So we get 19 to 22. We don't have the ones in between.
Or was it not? They skipped 20. They didn't do it. So it wasn't that we didn't get it. Just
the whole game got COVID.
I mean, you'd think a farm would be fairly socially distant.
You would think.
They got COVID.
Oh,
I can't be this punny on my own show. Do it.
But no,
they tried to get through it, but they just couldn't cluck it.
But yeah, it's. I mean, the series seems kind of fun. Like it seems. I'm just gonna keep ignoring your.
They got
Once an episode, I get Jacob to completely ignore my peanut gallery and just keep going.
Yes. Sometimes you just gotta keep going. Like it's constant stopping for your life. So, but no, it seems like a fun enough game. I mean, I like simmy kind of stuff. I like City Skylines. So, yeah,
fair. I grew up in a farm community and had to work on a farm during the summers, and so like this, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it in a video game. I had to do it in real life. So that's my take.
I don't go outside
on it. All right, we have another new release date coming out on Stadia, and that is.
As you pull up this is actually an updated date too, because this game was supposed to be out like last fall.
Yeah. And now it's finally coming on July 20th, 2021 with a new release date reveal trailer. Since the sound won't play, I'm going to go ahead and click play as we kind of talk about this one, so any of our video listeners can at least check it out. And I'm going to be a pro like Avery and mute it so I don't have that playing in my ears. Does this game do anything for you guys? Are you excited about this finally coming to Stadia? Jacob, let's start with you.
Yes, the art style looks awesome. Actually, it's funny. I'm not sure if anyone's even brought this up. The whole menu system, like combat system, is very Persona, like unabashedly Persona styling. But no, the art style is beautiful for this game. Looks like it's like a 2.5D, like kind of moving back and forth. Side-scrolling RPG that you get the turn-based combat. Looks like there's some cool stuff with the different, like almost dimensions kind of thing. I'm not sure if that's just the art style or actually like different. No, there you go. It shows right now, kind of like different, almost dimensions. So it looks really cool. I'm interested to see what that actually does to the story and if it's like different, like how it's implemented. So I'm vibing hard with this game, as Aaron loves to hear me say.
Vibe with it.
Vibe check.
Avery, how do you feel about this game? Is this one that's on your radar that you're excited about?
I love role-playing games. I love RPGs. Play one.
Wait. What game have you been playing? What game have you been playing?
Final Fantasy 14. a
small RPG. Small RPG.
To be precise. I'm a Memorpija, to be fair. But I have... the game looks interesting, but I'm worried about it. Like I'm worried that it's there. Sometimes you can come up with a gimmick, and that gimmick really works. And sometimes you can do it, and you're like, why is this even in this game? This game has not benefited from this. So the whole past, present, future shenanigan thing is cool. I would love to see if it lands. I might actually request a key and stream it myself or something. But I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to land, and I'd like it to, because we need more RPGs. We desperately need more RPGs on the system, particularly JRPGs. Menu driven. I want to hit the button that says fight. But I don't know. We'll see.
You're not into the active combat systems that they've been, the more action RPGs?
The first game I bought on Stadia was Final Fantasy 15. 15, because I hadn't had a chance to play it on other consoles. So, I don't not dislike them. Try to do that math. Except for Jake, he can't do math right now. But I can't. No, I don't know.
The art style is awesome. If it's cheap enough on Pro, I'll probably give it a shot, but they're going to have to give me a sale or a free Pro deal.
This is not, if this comes out at more than $29.99, that's enough.
I'm already out.
Yeah, it should be $30. I mean, like games like okay, is it Kaze or Kaze? Because
Kaze.
I have bones to pick with them then.
I tweeted at them to verify it, and they
need to put an accent over to the E. Then that's my because I had a professor that we used to call Waze Waz. No, just Waz. I'm like, no, like Haze, Maze, Why would you say was? Like, so it reminds me of that. But yeah, but you gotta pull an accent over the E. Let's make the kaze.
Accent aigu.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not thank you, but I wasn't sure if that translates over all the languages. But
I like that you get mad at me for my puns and you're like, I'm just going to talk past this, but we'll just stop and have a language lesson in the middle of it.
Yes, no problem. I'm all about it.
In le passé composé, c'est accent aigu.
But my point was like a game of that similar polish level.
Sure.
I feel like same price range, probably is at 20, 25, $30. So hope so.
Speaking of what things should be priced at, let's talk about deals.
Great segue.
Bow. Thank you. I'm on it tonight with the segues. Again, our friends over at Stadia Source hooking you up with all the info you need to know on what's on sale on the Stadia store. Most of these are going to be pro deals. I'll just quickly run through them. And then I'll just ask you guys if there's anything that really sticks out to you that maybe you've been waiting to purchase that you can't wait to go pick up. Dead by Daylight, we have not only the gold edition, but the Stranger Things edition is also on sale. Doom is on sale for $7.50. Well, pounds. I'm not going to convert.
Doom 2016, though.
It is the Doom 2016. And if you don't go buy that at that price, and if you never played it, you are a fool. Doom 64 for $2. Doom Eternal, all sorts of stuff on sale. We have the Ancient Gods Part 1. That's the add-on, the Ancient Gods Part 1 standalone. You have the campaign, the deluxe edition, and the standard edition, all getting a sweet, sweet discount. Eternal is also fantastic. Go play both of those games. F1 2020 and F1 2020 Deluxe Schumacher Edition. I am sure he is a race car driver. Family Feud
Schumacher edition.
What's that?
It's the Joel Schumacher edition. It
yes.
comes with a copy of the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, okay. I thought this was the one where you actually get George Clooney's Batman to drive the car for you.
Okay.
Family Feud also on sale. Far Cry 5 is getting dropped down. Far Cry New Dawn, of course, those are also available on Ubisoft Play. FIFA 21, FIFA 21 Champions Edition, FIFA 21 Ultimate Edition, Final Fantasy 16 for Avery, Ghost Recon Breakpoint Gold
15,
Edition, and Ultimate
15,
Edition.
16's not out yet.
Me like that.
Oh, 15.
16
I'm
looks
so sorry.
beautiful. I can't wait for it.
I
I hope
say
it gets
it.
16 on Stadia.
I said it on purpose to watch you guys melt down. Grid and Grid Ultimate Edition. Immortals Phoenix Rising Gold Edition is on sale. That game is also fantastic. It came from space and ate our brains. Just Dance 2020, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, Madden NFL 21 and the Superstar Edition, Monopoly NBA 2K21 and the Mamba Forever Edition, PGA Tour 2K21, as well as the Digital Deluxe Edition, Rage 2 in the Deluxe Edition, Red Dead Redemption 2 and its Ultimate Edition, Rise of the Tomb
We're going to
Raider.
be for a while if you keep reading.
1-year celebration.
Sales
Scott
right
Pilgrim
now.
versus the World, The Crew. I've already come so far. I'm just going to finish Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. And the best part is I learned from Jake. I just ignore you guys and keep going. Tom Clancy's a Division 2, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition.
No one's going to buy it.
Oh my God, it's still going.
2K Battlegrounds anyway.
I have 4 games left. I have to do it now. Trials Rising,
Jake,
Uno,
Jake,
Wolfenstein
what
Youngblood,
board
and
games have you been
WWE
playing
2K Battlegrounds. Oh, I'm definitely
I haven't
picking
actually been
that.
playing anything right now, which is really unfortunate. So I played Parkso after my birthday.
Okay, so out of the 100 titles I just read off unnecessarily, anything stick out to you guys that you can't wait for? Sorry, I actually didn't realize I listed so long, or I wouldn't have done that. I just hit some highlights, but I had to commit to the bit.
Right here on this show, you guys just got a piece of breaking news from Dan. I'm just saying, the founder and discoverer of StadiaSource.com, the creator, the coder, the master. I'm going to let you find it so you can go and then click it. Or I could just look it up.
Breaking news. The site now allows you to set the currency used. I just haven't updated the sales yet, but the next round of sales will be awesome. I am excited about that.
I was actually going to make a joke
know
about
what
how we
things
need
cost.
to overthrow the
We need to have another revolution.
Yeah. We overthrow our overlords over in England to change the currency on
I think bringing y'all in finally got us up over the half and half mark, because for the longest time the Americans were in the minority in the site, and now I think we there's 20 of us. There are 20 of us now on the GSN team, maybe even 21. We'll throw Fee in there. So yeah. You also have some Red Sox and Yankee hate
I know.
going on
I
the chat as
I
well.
saw this trash talk about the Red Sox. I'm also a Red Sox fan, so I'm not going to stand for it. So see this comment right here.
And
Goodbye.
The funny thing is, John Krasinski's also a Red Sox fan, so because he's from Newton, Massachusetts.
I didn't even know that's what that hat was.
Oh, yeah, it's a
I
Red
thought it
Sox.
was like an LL or something.
No, it's Red Sox.
No, they're pairs of socks and they're red.
It's boomerangs. He's showing support for the Australian national rugby team.
Is that what you were trying to do? Were you trying to figure out what his hat was while I read off 1,000 titles? Because I don't blame you. I just like to apologize one more time. Again, I didn't realize that list was long. And then sometimes I just have to commit. I just,
There is a scroll bar, you can kind of see your progress on the page.
Now, I just like to just keep on going. Full speed ahead.
Aaron, to answer your question, the games I'm actually probably going to actually end up buying is FIFA and probably PGA 2021.
Oh, nice. Was FIFA on that list? I blacked out.
Yeah, FIFA is. Yeah, they're both on sale again. They were on sale previously, but they're back on sale again for the same. I think the same prices.
Okay.
Just blacked out halfway through, Aaron.
about halfway through. Like no oxygen was getting up here, and I just kind of checked out for a second. I just went into autopilot. You know what I mean?
That Stranger Things DLC for Dead by Daylight. I might jump on one of those.
I will probably buy that just because I have been playing that game a little bit, and I would like Stranger Things people.
Let me know. Wait.
Very little.
Me, you, and Fee need to stream that.
It's
going to happen now. It's going to happen. I said in the podcast, it's got to happen now.
Just saying.
Dom, let's go.
Dom can just destroy us. That'd be fun.
Ooh,
it could be y'all versus.
The four of us make Avery the monster.
That's gonna be a no. I'm enough of a monster as it is. I don't know what that was.
Those are our deals. If you didn't, you know what? If you didn't catch every title I said, I want you to rewind about 5 minutes, and then I want you to play this back at half speed.
No, Aaron.
And then I want you to write it down. Oh, you want me to just do it again? Okay, hold on. Let me get you to go back. All right, moving on. Outriders finally getting a patch on Stadia. We talked about this on the last episode of Speaking of Stadia with Fiona. They weren't patching it. It was getting patched everywhere but Stadia, which is quite wild. So again, this is 4 days ago from our friends over at Stadia Source. Since Outriders launched on Stadia, it became very clear that the Stadia version of the game was not on par with other platforms. It did not run at the same versions as the other platforms. Pre-order items were not available, and crossplay with the other platforms was missing. That was a lot of really big issues. Thankfully, a patch is coming, however. Like I said, last episode, we talked about how every patch that had been rolled out so far, not on Stadia, and they weren't talking about it. Square Enix hopes that on the week of the 26th of April, a patch will be deployed for the Stadia version of the game that will fix issues with getting access to pre-order items. We will, however, have to wait a bit longer for the Stadia version to be further patched and to be brought in line with the other platforms with a timeline of in the coming weeks currently being given. The article goes on to talk about how this is actually positive news, but let's get your takes on it. Avery, moving down to you, whether you've played Outriders or not, what do you think about all this? Like, they haven't patched on Stadia, now they are, but kinda.
Yeah. It's a bit overdue. Considerably so. I get it. You're gonna invest in the platforms that make you money. And let's just be frank, they probably have sold 5,000 copies on Stadia, maybe 10,000 copies, whereas they have probably sold 100,000 copies on PlayStation, and then it was in Game Pass. So, who knows if they saw a bump in Game Pass subs for that. So I get it. What I struggle with is this won't be an issue in 5 or 10 years. Right now, the dev stream for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, every platform is different. So there's going to be bits and pieces of the dev stream that are different. But for the most part, when you're getting the patch prepped to fix the inventory bug on PlayStation, you're not having to do a completely separate brand new set of code line for line 100% on Xbox. But for whatever reason, there's enough impediment in the Stadia workflow, just because it isn't evolved enough yet, that it isn't mature enough yet, that it just does make it harder for them to do that as well. So 5 years from now, it's not going to be an issue, but right now it's just kind of a frustration.
Yeah, Jacob, what is your kind of take on this?
I wonder, they didn't come out and say, I wonder if they did have another team on the patch for this. Like, they sometimes they'll have sub out the patching. So I'm not sure if that was part of the issue as well, but it's interesting. I mean, I like that they've explained it and their explanation made sense, but I wish we got this 2 weeks ago or earlier. That's the fact that there was no transparency on the Stadia side. They were very transparent. Like, Aaron, when I was talking to you, like, they were very transparent throughout the entire way with all their patches for the platforms. So you were, I know you're playing on Game Pass, I'm assuming, right?
I am.
Yeah. It's fine.
But why would I pay for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. If you already have it, why not? So you were very surprised when you heard that it wasn't up to date on Stadia. So it's just the lack of transparency is the very frustrating part. Like I said, I do hate their explanation. Just wish it came earlier. Because they're on different builds that I could see that, and glad they're finally getting it to parity. But you think they would have been on parity for launch, which also doesn't make any sense. So it's like half, like one in that, half this in the other. But I don't know. I'll eventually maybe play the game once they fully patch it, and it seems like it's a game that just needs a few. It's a game that's like, it's fun now, but in like 3 months when you actually go play, it's like, oh, this game is really good. So it feels like one of those games that it's. I know you've been enjoying it a ton, Aaron. Obviously, you haven't played it much in the last 2 weeks, mostly other stuff. But it's a game that feels like it's like, this is good. Like even Cyberpunk, it's like, this game is good. I'll wait a few months to play it when it's not running, when the cars aren't falling from the sky randomly on me and exploding.
But that's the fun, isn't it?
It is, but like, you can only get like torpedoed to the moon by a frost giant in Skyrim so many times before it's like, I should probably wait a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. For me, I mean, we talked so much about it on the last episode, but they've just been so transparent with everything. Like, I've never seen a studio communicate so well. And I think that's why it hurts a little bit more that Stadia seems, it like highlights that it's like the redheaded stepchild to them. If I can turn that phrase, I don't know if that's a thing in England.
It is a turn of phrase.
None of us are in England, sir. So.
Our listeners, our viewers, tell Dan, I'm trying to support our whole audience here, Avery.
In England. Good day, mates.
I'm a big fan of Oliver Twist if we're talking about orphans.
See. Anyways, it just feels like they're they put baby in the corner. They're like, we're going to focus on all these. We're going to roll out our patches. We're going to talk to everybody. We're going to be really, really open about the community. And then every comment that does pop up that's like, hey, what about Stadia? Are you guys going to update that? It's just like,
they didn't say anything. Like,
right.
If they had these big, huge Reddit posts, like going issue by issue with a very deep developer breakdown, like a lot more. I work in software dev. I wouldn't have put that much information out, but it's fine. It's fine.
Right.
So, but then like at the very bottom of it, Stadia currently under research. Like, and then just, that's it.
That's it.
4 words. And then you'd be done with like, bah.
Yeah. And it's infuriating just because it feels like such a step backwards when we did see such a flip side of the performance, strictly performance. We're going to get into the next article, but from Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk ran better on Stadia than anywhere else, and it became this really cool highlight for the platform. So it's even more frustrating to be like, this game is actually really cool on everything but Stadia. You're like, well, that is a huge bummer. So I hope they continue to patch it. I hope they roll this stuff out. I hope they make it viable. And then I hope they, make it just smooth for everybody. Also give me cross progression. I'd probably jump in on this on Stadia because it doesn't run well like streaming on Xbox. Which I did. We can talk about that at some point, but I did get into the beta for Xbox cloud streaming on PC.
I hate you.
You should.
I still don't have Ultimate because literally as Avery has a moment. I was actually, they had a deal that I know they talked about on the Roundtable podcast about getting it cheaper. And I went to go buy it and it was sold out. I was very upset. So, because it was like super cheap for like 5 months, or something like that. So I'll get Ultimate at some point and try xCloud again. I just haven't. So
yeah, I think for all of $18, I now have Game Pass Ultimate through the end of October.
Yeah.
Maybe
Nice.
even the end of November. It was quite nice.
I want to try just, I mean, even just to try it as comparison to Stadia for research purposes. I probably will just end up getting it for a month or two. So
there are places that it works really, really great. I will say that when I played it on my laptop and on my PC, it definitely feels very beta. I jumped into Mass Effect Andromeda was one of them and died almost immediately because it chugged the second I got into combat. I did play some simpler titles that ran a lot better. I just jumped into a few different things to see kind of what would work and what wouldn't. And it definitely seems like the more AAA titles still need some streaming love when it comes to PC. I haven't tried it on anything iOS because I don't own anything iOS, but the cloud gaming via computer, I think still needs a little bit of love. So I see why they were making people download it early on. But I digress. That's a totally different topic than what we're on. We were just talking about the fact that
speaking of xCloud,
no.
That's right.
I said it before. We talk about the other platforms in reference to Stadia. I mean, this is kind of like, hey, it's finally becoming parity. So
yeah. But we were just talking about how well Cyberpunk ran on Stadia, and this was very interesting. We're going to talk about who gets the laugh at CD Projekt Red. This was kind of interesting. This is over on 9 to 5 Google. This was kind of circling the internet here a couple days ago. The launch of Cyberpunk 2077 was rough, to say the least, but it actually highlighted the strength of Stadia at an opportune time, which was awesome. Unfortunately, it seems that the boost didn't really do a lot for the bottom line, as in an earnings call this week, it was heavily implied that Cyberpunk 2077 sales on Stadia weren't amazing through laughter. Toward the end of the CD Projekt Group FY 2020 earnings call, the company's president and CEO, Adam, was thrown the question of how Cyberpunk 2077 sold on Google Stadia. His response was not actually exactly encouraging. Our rough transcription follows. I will answer it. We are not disclosing, but obviously most of the sales accounted to PC and Stadia come from PCs and from such important platforms as, first of all, Steam. So the Stadia sale is not to be compared with such a portal as Steam. That's all I can say. I did see a comment in here, if I can scroll up and find it. PC and Stadia sold together 59% of all Cyberpunk sales, which is awesome. But this quote makes it sound like maybe 9% was Stadia, 50% was Steam. I'm obviously speculating. I hope it wasn't quite that drastic, but he definitely seems to be implying that most of it was grouped together, but a large portion happened on PC, and then they just had some Stadia sales.
Honestly, if it was 9%, it'd probably be on the benefit, because it's funny. I think GOG was only 9% of sales as well, I want to say. So I'm not sure that's including the PC sales, and GOG is like owned by CD Projekt. So like,
Avery,
this doesn't concern me.
Fair.
And I saw when this came out, and it kind of ticked me off because I listened to the clip, and the dude was clearly not expecting a question about Stadia. So he was like, oh, well, let me just say, but it wasn't like Stadia, like the meme with the rich guys. And it wasn't that at all. It was
that rich guy's Leonardo DiCaprio. Thank you very much.
Well, no, I'm all the ones. But it's like, it wasn't that he was saying, oh, haha, Stadia. Yeah, right, doof. Like, that wasn't what it was. He was just caught off guard by the fact that somebody during an earnings call was asking about Stadia, a thing they would have never been asked before.
Right.
So, of course, the sales are going to be smaller. Of course they are. Because I tweeted about this. It's like, oh, the sales of Coca-Cola at McDonald's versus the sales at Bahama Breeze. Clearly, Bahama Breeze is dying because they only have 50 restaurants to sell Coke in, whereas there are 15,000 McDonald's. Yes, the numbers are going to be different.
Right.
I would think that if you did the problem is, I would doubt that CD Projekt Red has been given the kind of numbers about Stadia as a whole that would let them say, you know what, 40% of Stadia's player base actually bought a copy of this game. Or so, they probably don't have that number.
Right.
So for them, if they sold 10,000 copies, that was probably pathetic and doesn't look really good. But if Stadia has 100,000 daily active users and 10% of them bought that game, that's pretty good in proportion. It's not great for Stadia at all, but it's pretty good in proportion.
Yeah. I mean, and Aaron and I know probably about between the two of us, like a dozen people that bought Cyberpunk on Stadia or just bought on Stadia to try for the first time. Like people that literally bought it on Stadia because it ran better than anywhere else. And they tried it for the first time, Stadia for the first time in that same instance. So it definitely
it's a massive number, but I literally know like 3 people in my close friend circle who returned their copy on whatever they were playing on to then go get it on Stadia just because of how it was running.
Which is funny because they also posted smile side tangent, but like they posted, only 30,000 30,000 copies were returned. Is what they reported, but it's from their fund. Actually, it was actually like almost over 500,000 copies were returned of the game. But like, so the headline was like, well, they said that their return program returned only 30,000, so it wasn't that much. But like, no, the real numbers were. So they're trying to skirt numbers anyway. So
yeah. That's fair.
Which is the job on an earnings call. That's their job.
That's all you're actually supposed to do.
We lost $418 million this quarter. Isn't that great, investors?
Yeah, they lost a lot of money on that. But
yeah,
they'll make it back on the DLC or whatever.
I don't have a good segue. I tried to think for so long on this one, and it didn't.
I was going to segue to another topic, but
almost all of your segues for this show could just literally be, well, speaking of,
and that's what half of them are.
Yeah, I was working really well, and then this one I just hit an absolute brick wall.
Speaking of the things that the crowd does to a video game,
right?
Speaking of awesome, unique things that Stadia can do that other things can't.
Jake, don't you wish Cyberpunk had share play and crowd play? Speaking of those two things, share play and crowd play get some love via Monster Boy. This, of course, comes from our friends over at Stadia Source. If you haven't figured it out, they are absolutely your number one source for all things Stadia news. Before we were ever here, we quoted this site.
I mean,
constantly.
Me making the doc is going to Stadia Source, looking through there.
So by share play and crowd play, do you mean state share and crowd choice?
Listen, I can't be held accountable for the words.
This is my fault. Okay,
I'm the one that has to deal with this on a weekly basis for my show. So it's great to see that I'm not the only one.
I literally took a 6-hour exam, drove home. Got ice cream, drove all the way home, and then laid on my couch and wrote this and put this together. So
you're doing great. You did great. You're lovely. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah. I have no complaints.
I have so many complaints because now I look like the idiot. I'm just kidding.
No, it's my fault.
Yeah, state share and crowd choice in the latest update. The folks behind Monster Boy and the Cursed. I almost said Monster Hunter. This is going great, everybody.
The folks behind Monster Girl and the crowd of faces.
If anybody's wondering, this will be our last speaking of Stadia on GSN. They will not want us back after this train wreck. All right,
from our friends God Entertainment, bringing you the Monster Child.
That's right.
Monster Child with the crowd play and the state play.
All right, so we have your state of
I think
crowds.
Share Play is actually SharePlay actually the PlayStation one? I think there is a share play. I think that's what threw me off. All the buzzwords is
buzzwords. It's fine. Anyways, there's a boy monster game. They have just announced a new update for the game, which brings 2 Stadia enhanced features to the title, as well as some GPU tweaks to make it run better. The features are State Share, which we knew was coming to the title as it was mentioned in the game's option menu, but couldn't be activated, and Crowd Play. Are you guys Monster Boy fans? I am. I love it.
Oh, that one is actually Lee's fault, or whoever wrote that article's fault, because it's crowd choice, not crowd play. So we'll blame whoever wrote that article on that one.
Okay, so
they will be
I read the
stacked.
headline.
Our friends at Stadia Source also messed it up, and we're back into GSN. We get one more chance because they were equally wrong.
So, yes, I am a big Monster Boy fan. I actually really want to go back to the game. I got pretty far into the game. I'm at I just finished the volcano, so I think I'm over halfway. I'm on the back half of that game. I haven't gone back to it in a while, and this actually may incentivize me to do it. So maybe I could stream it and play a little bit more and go around and do some errands, because I wanted to do some cleanup stuff before I went forward. So
nice
side quests.
Speaking of side quests, Dan's going to jump in there and he's going to fix that right now. So by the end of this episode, that'll no longer be relevant.
1:30 in the morning there. No, it's later than that. It's 2:30.
It's 2:30 in the morning. Dan does not sleep. I don't know. I will get messages.
Is he a vampire?
He's a Danpire. We've established that he is a Danpire.
That's insane.
I love it.
But he's our Danpire.
It's also 2:30. Correction, it's 2:29, Dan. I can read a clock. Just kidding. Yeah.
I will challenge you about the time.
Avery, are you gonna go back and do any crowd sharing state play with Monster Boy?
I did play. Did I do a first look of this one? I think I might have done the first look on the channel on this one back when that was a thing that we cared to do. And then there are so many other people like Megatron X, who does so much of a better job of things like first looks at things. She should just come do it on our channel. Meg, come join my channel. So it looks fun. Like the Streamlabs thing. What is that?
That's what threw me off.
I just lost everything. My brain left me.
Monster Boy.
Probably not. It's so far back in the list now. I played it and I had fun, and then I just stopped. It's just there's too many other games, and Monster Boy is not one that I've gone back to. Even with crowd flare and play choice, it's just not. I don't know. It was fun. I liked it. I like that kind of game. I'm not. It's in the catalog now.
I played a lot of it. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was a lot of fun. Thought it brought in a lot of fun dimensions. Just says Avery, it's your favorite game.
Oh no, that's about another thing.
Oh, it's everything. My bad. I was just, moving right along.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, Resident Evil. I bet he loves that game. That's definitely Avery's favorite game. Game of the year. Can't wait for 8. You gonna be streaming that one day one? No, just
how much does someone need to donate to get you to play?
I am not gonna do that because it backfired on me tremendously the last time. Did
it though? Really?
There are extraordinarily generous humans in this world, and some of them watch our channel, and some of them give us too much money to support the efforts of the things that we do. So no, not gonna name a price. Because God knows somebody would set up a crowd like a GoFundMe to pay, $3,000, and then somebody would either drop a $3,000 super chat or they'd be like, here's a link to a GoFundMe for it, and I would just be unhappy. So no, not
okay. Next question, Avery. How many subscribers would I need to refer to the channel to be able to get you to play one more stream?
We have not hit 2,000 yet. If we hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of June,
done.
I will play RE8 on stream.
Refer
That would
everyone
be-
you know.
That would be an increase of almost 1,000% of our current 28-day average. So go for it.
You don't know how quickly I can make
No,
email
Meg.
accounts.
No, does not work. Does not work. Does
You
not
didn't specify. I can
No, Meg.
$3,000. You heard it here first from Meg.
And speaking of people that donate are very generous. Thank you for the
Jacob. Thank you.
With the ice cream cone. You can't see it in StreamYard.
Yeah,
but it is an ice cream cone.
Oh, thank
adorable.
you.
So
speaking
for
thank you for that.
everybody you know, let's get the channel to 2,000 subscribers so he has to play Resident Evil 8. And speaking of referral bonuses coming to Stadia. I had to set it up for another one.
I was gonna transition out otherwise, but that's fine too.
Yep.
That was great. That was good.
Yeah. So Stadia is now giving out referral bonuses. The first major addition is in regards to...
it's not now giving out referral bonuses. It will probably in the near future.
Soon. My bad. All right. Anyways, now at the moment you can claim a free month of Stadia Pro should refer a friend and they then pay for the first month of Stadia Pro. It now seems that Google will be adding more tiers to this. Okay. Stadia 3.12 is laying the groundwork on 2 tiers of rewards. Specifically, you can get 50% off a Stadia controller and also unlock an exclusive avatar. There is no mention of just how many friends you would need to refer to Stadia Pro in order to unlock either of these items. You guys think that this will pull more people into Stadia Pro?
It'll get me to be way more forceful with
just do it because you need another controller.
I mean, I
send you one of those.
So I'll buy one to give it to someone else.
To then refer them to then get the free pro.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
the person I refer, I'll
Ponzi
use
scheme of Stadia controllers.
Yeah.
It's all a pyramid scheme. Come on.
Avery, will this get you to be pushing people towards Stadia more?
If they release some more controller colors. We have gone 2 years now, almost 2 full years, a year and a half, with only with only 3 publicly accessible controller colors.
I need to get the black.
I happen to have number 4 somewhere around me. No, it's right there. No, right there. Yeah, I have 3 white and 2 white, 1 wasabi, 1 black. No,
I want to get the black still. The black looks nice.
Yeah, so I would love a blue, like the Xbox, the Shock Blue controller. That is my favorite color of blue ever.
I'm a blue boy, so
I want it.
I love blue. Blue's my favorite color, so I love to get a blue controller. Especially with the two. I wonder how they would do the two-tone on the sticks. Nice.
They'll probably do if they did the Stadia orange, or if they did the plum.
I want the orange.
If they did the plum as the offset color,
that'd be nice.
I definitely want that orange.
Or wasabi. What if it was wasabi on the inside? That'd be subtle. Be real subtle.
Yeah.
Ooh, I could dig that.
But anywho, yeah.
The orange pixel is my favorite pixel, so I would absolutely love to see that color come to the controller. That's beautiful. Okay, well,
and then I would bother to try to refer somebody, so I gave 3% off of it and
then get it.
The avatar thing I don't care about. I get it, and there will be people who will be like, "I want that avatar."
They really need to add more avatars or make it so you can make your own, because this
dog burger, man.
My brother
dog
was
burger.
My brother. I got him to sign up for Stadia because I told him he can play Madden and not have to buy it. So, but he's looking at the avatars like, these are terrible.
They're weird looking. They're a lot of
some of them I like the artist style for, but there's very few that I'm like, oh, this is cool, like really cool. Like, it's very few.
But dog burger, still the best.
I just wanted to point out the blue shirt, red socks, strange mix.
I mean, they are as navy blue, blue.
Yeah, I was
red,
like, it's actually a perfect mix. Thank you very much. Anyways, okay, so until we get different colored controllers, we're not banging down the door to get more people to sign up for Stadia so that we can get 50% off yet another.
Again, I can use a black controller. I can get someone one of my other 4 white controllers.
I can just wait until the next game that I want that says if you pre-order it, I get a free Premiere Edition.
But then you get another white controller. I want a black one.
I have nothing but white controllers. It's fine. I bought one Wasabi controller once for someone else, and
it is interesting that the Premiere Editions have only ever been white controllers, despite so that just means like they intentionally only ever did X thousand more white controllers than the other ones. Maybe it's cheaper.
I like the white controller.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know, Avery, I know you said, this, like, some people are going to go after that avatar, but it's not really your thing. I love this idea. I would love new avatars to be linked to achievements. So if you finish a game, it unlocks an avatar for you to use. I love the idea of earning an avatar almost like a trophy. Can you imagine playing a PlayStation game, and if you put in the effort to platinum it, you got a special avatar for that game?
They do.
Only you get. Do they do that?
I don't platinum some games. So I know. I think. I want to say either Horizon or God of War did that. One of a few first party games have done it, but not all.
That's super cool. I love that idea.
I'm not sure if it's avatars or if it's like the themes. It's one of the two. I forget. But they definitely did some sort of like, if you platinum the game, they'll.
If you get enough achievements unlocked, they'll give you a search bar.
Yeah,
no, that's what they do the referral program for. Refer 5 people, and you'll finally get a search bar.
I will refer everyone just for that. Anyways, you can expect most of these things to roll out some point in the future. 3.12. We don't really have a date. I'm going to go ahead and guess June. Speaking of June, the UB Forward is happening in June.
I like that. That was good.
This again comes from Stadia source.
The drive-by segue.
The next Ubisoft Forward will happen on June 12th at 12 p.m. Pacific as a part of E3 2021. We have plenty of time that we can speculate about this on future episodes, but right out the gate, are you guys expecting any type of Stadia news? What would you like to see from this? Avery, I will defer to you first, sir.
I expect, I'll tell you what I hope for, and I'll tell you what I expect. I hope Ubisoft will have something Stadia related. Ubisoft is obviously a core partner for Stadia. We're going to see something Stadia related there. I expect or hope that some of the other ones that happen, there might be a Stadia logo here and there. Probably not going to be too many of them because, again, it is what it is. But I'll tell you what I really hope for. What I really hope is the Square Enix presentation. I want to see any logo whatsoever, but hopefully a Stadia logo on Final Fantasy 14. No, 7
16. 16.
7 remake.
16's not going to happen. Stadia. But 7 remake, I want it on. At least give it to me on PC.
Wait.
I would love
real
to
quick.
have it on Stadia.
Real quick. If Final Fantasy 16 is not going to happen, as in like that game is not going to actually come out for another 5 years, or it's not going to come to Stadia.
It's not going to come to Stadia.
Yes.
Anytime soon. They have it's another exclusive to Sony.
I know. Okay.
But
I actually
I don't. And even
I realize that as
because they haven't even brought 7 remake to PC, let alone other platforms. So I would love to see 16 come because it's back to the roots. It's back to the fantasy, and that's what I loved 9 for that very reason. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it'll be 7 years before we see 16 on Stadia, if we ever do. It's sad in my heart.
I just want to real quick. I want to say, they're coming here. That's assuming Phil Harrison will actually ever be present at an event ever again. So,
haven't heard from him in a
sure would be
year.
nice.
Literally, the guy literally hasn't tweeted actually hasn't even retweeted in over a year now. So it's been just fantastic. Great president of Stadia.
I will say we haven't had any Stadia events whatsoever this year. By this time last year, we had a Connect
right now.
The April Connect.
Yep.
It would have been happening this weekish. Yeah.
This is the 23rd.
And then there was another one in July, first week of July, something like that.
Yes.
So maybe we'll get a Stadia Connected E3. Maybe.
I mean, the last thing we got was
on whether or not.
was December, right?
Uh,
It was Xavier Woods
Yeah.
and
well, that was the last time there was a Stadia something happening.
Yeah.
The last Stadia Connect
was back in
Connect,
October.
like September, October. No, not Stadia Connection Test. That doesn't do me any good.
It was good. It was good stuff. Some good stuff.
There was good stuff. It was July.
Oh yeah, some good stuff.
The last actual Stadia Connect was July. Then there was good stuff.
Then
which was
the Xavier Woods thing.
Then that weird little thing. So yeah, we haven't had a Stadia news or release event since good stuff, which was
Hey. There was announcements that little
October.
thing in December.
No, was there? They released more stuff and they released more crowd play, but I don't think there were any games at that. Was there?
They announced, I think, was it
Are you thinking of
Dragon
the
Warrior
good stuff event?
No. I'm thinking of in between the games. They had announced a few things. They announced, I want to say, Dragon Warrior. Then they had announced. They also announced Submerge of that. That was when they announced Submerged.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Here.
Well, anywho, we're sidetracking a bit, but I also wanted to shout out Jacob again for the other donation. Thank you. So, but oh my God, I keep scrolling. I don't know what to do.
Jacob, thank you so much. That was really, really nice of you. Very much appreciate it. I'll just click on the one comment. It won't just keep scrolling.
I was trying to unclick it.
Stadia, it was Stadia. It was Xavier Woods and Katie Wilson.
Yes.
And yes, they did. They did 4 new trailers.
It was also Hello Engineer too. Was the other one.
So they did. Okay, I'm wrong. I was wrong. That was December. That was December 3rd. So it has been 5 months. It will be 6 months next week that we have not had any form of Stadia video announce event.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
it's time. It's probably time to get one of those out. E3 maybe.
Yeah, I said with Ubisoft
or Google I/O.
Yeah,
oh, true.
Yeah, I do have Google I/O coming up.
I would do it at E3. That speaks more to your crowd.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You'd hope. I mean, at this time, they with that April announcement last time, they had told us they were going to be doing one in July over the summer. They actually announced that one in July at the end of that one. So the fact that we haven't gotten anything that's been radio silent is pretty, especially not having a Connect post the SG&E closure. I think that's the one thing that would actually, I guess, rally, if you will, the Stadia fan base again. Give us something to look forward to, which I think is something we kind of need.
Or just tick everybody off once more if it's 10 minutes and boring, or 28 minutes.
Yeah,
or something.
I think
there's no winning.
Yeah, no, it's a frustrating thing. So yeah, I mean, we're coming towards the end of the year. If they can announce some big games that are coming that are third party even to Stadia, I think would be a big thing for Stadia. Even if they add like 1 or 2 new publishers to the pool, I think it would be huge. I know obviously the topic was Ubisoft's forward. So do I think Ubisoft everything? I think we'll just get more of what they've been doing is parity with Stadia stuff across the board. If we don't see a Stadia logo on something, I'll be very surprised. I wonder. With the SG&E closure and them focusing on third parties. Part of me is, I mean, this is very, like shot in the dark, probably not going to happen. But I would love to see if they can get, if they're not going to be paying SG&E, pay Ubisoft some sort of money for an exclusivity on a game for a year or 6 months.
That would be a huge win for them.
I think that's something that I could see them doing, especially with that closure. I think Ubisoft would be the group to do it. I think it'd be a smaller game. It wouldn't be any of the big tent poles probably, but something on like not UB Arts, but like on the lower side. Which we haven't seen a UB Arts game in forever, which was sad. But even if it's like a Rayman game or something like that, I could see like
Splinter Cell exclusive Stadia. Pull in the people.
That would be huge. That would
That
actually
would be huge. It's ridiculous, but it'd be huge.
It'd be huge. It'd be
Sam
interesting to see
Fisher.
what kind of an uproar that caused.
The
but it would
man
be
you've been
huge.
waiting for 10 years.
Exclusively
to
to
Stadia.
the platform that
Riots
you hate.
everywhere. People running out in their night vision goggles, just enraged. Yeah, I would love to see an exclusive deal. I agree with you, Jake, entirely. If we don't see a Stadia logo on any of their titles, like even just one, it's going to shock me. I expect to see it 100% of the way. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see what they have up their sleeve. Hopefully they bring us some really good stuff that Stadia kind of wants to ride a new wave on. I feel like that's what Stadia's been doing for a while now, is like they kind of hit a nice wave and they ride it for a while and then it just drops and it's really quiet. And we wait for that next wave. We ride that for a while and then it's just kind of quiet. So E3, the Ubisoft Forward, it's time.
I mean, and Ubisoft has like a bunch of games that they have like queued up now. We haven't had like a new game, in a while. Besides, I think Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, the remake on that. That thing is the last like new that, and I'm blanking on the name of the steep spiritual successor.
Riders Republic.
Riders Republic, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know that got delayed, and so did Prince of Persia. But I'm wondering what else. Since we just had a bunch of games release or are releasing soon, I wonder what's going to be on like the next thing to get excited for them, because I know they just had obviously Immortals and Valhalla, and we have when's 6 coming out now? Because again, they pushed a ton of dates. 6 was supposed to be out by now, or it's supposed to be out in February.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be out in February. I don't remember where it's actually supposed to drop now.
Because that game has now historically been that game like started a January trend, if I'm not mistaken, back like in like with 4 or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty much always January, February for those games.
Mm-hmm. So, and then obviously Riders Republic got pushed out, and Prince of Persia. So I'm interested to see what's coming out next then, because we know a lot of the games that are coming out, but like a lot have just come out recently, so or we know are coming out soon. So
yeah,
they announced the next Assassin's Creed game, and it's exclusive to Stadia. I mean,
has exclusive hat, you can wear that.
Right. That you'll never get, because whatever pre-order bonuses you get, we don't.
We just keep forgetting the patch. Bringing it back to Happy Land. You know what else you can do on Stadia right now? You can play the Resident Evil 8 demo, which Avery is going to be live streaming right after this.
You mean
I've now committed him. Avery, get ready. You have to go play the demo. I promised everyone live that you would do it. Please, you can't make me look like a liar. Things Avery won't actually be doing after this show is, checking out the Resident Evil 8 demo. It's coming to Stadia May 1st. They had released a couple of different demos here. The schedule was they did the Village demo, then the Castle demo, and then they did Village and Castle, a multi-platform demo, which will drop May 1st at 5:00. And that is coming to Stadia, which I think Stadia needs. Outriders demo, I thought hurt them, but now after hearing how patches rolled out and performance, and maybe it didn't hurt them that bad. Maybe that would have hurt them worse to release that demo.
Apparently we have the demo build, so there's no reason why we shouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, true. There is an update to even that article. They announced today that they're actually going to extend the demo for an entire week. So it'll be May 1st to May 9th. You now will have 8 days to play Village and Castle.
Oh, awesome. Nice. Okay. Also, some people are only here to watch Avery do the demo live stream.
$782 super chat, and I'll do it. For God's sake, don't do that. No, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Let me get my card out real quick.
I should do something like if 20 people tweet at me before the end of that demo a photo of you in a blood donor chair that you went to go donate blood. This week, like hold up today's newspaper or do something. But you tweet me a photo of you donating blood, 20 people, I will play that demo on stream.
I think we can actually make that happen.
There you go. That's my deal. It's my deal. I'm sticking to it.
I'm going to take one photo of me donating blood and then Photoshop 19 other people's faces on me.
but same beard.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
other faces
Like my
for
wife's
the-
face will be here, but it'll still just
Yeah.
be. It's gonna get really confusing for a while. All right, Avery, no interest in the demo.
Challenge accepted.
I love
By
it.
Eddie Player One.
Mr. Porter,
coming at you.
will you be
They're
playing
coming
the
for you.
RE8 demo?
They want the content, Avery.
I don't want to give it to them, Jacob.
They are hungry for it.
Jacob, answer the question. Are you going to be playing the RE8 demo
I'll try
on
it.
stream?
I want to try it.
Fair.
Will I stream it? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. If you, I'll see. I'll see. I do. I want to do. Actually, still need to try 7. Now that it's Pro, I'll probably try that first to see how I like that. And if that doesn't scare me too much, then I'll probably try 8. To be honest.
You
So
can keep
that's fine.
talking. I'm just going to keep
I'll try
dropping
7
these
first,
comments of
then
people
8.
wanting to see Avery play this demo. Awesome. I also plan on checking it out. I only played Resident Evil 7. Avery, get ready for this for your poor hate spooky game heart. I only played Resident Evil 7 in VR, and it was so scary. It's the only VR game that's made me sick. Something popped out at me, and it scared me so bad I got nauseous. So
nowhere near interested. No, no. I didn't want to walk through it with this screen in front of me, let alone knowing that Meemaw is somewhere behind me in a chair.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that does it for the 22nd episode of Speaking of Stadia. Thank you so much for joining us, Avery. You are a heck of a guest. Please come back and join us again. It was awesome having you. Also, you are the second guest we've ever had, so feel very, very special. And the last special guest we had, we turned into a reoccurring host, so watch yourself. We may just drag you into it.
Allow that. No. But just you wait. I mean, I saw Meg over here. I saw Eddie. We know they're awake. I'll send them the StreamYard link. We'll make this happen.
I love it. Let's absolutely get some more guests on here. Avery, where can the fine people find you?
You can find me on the internet at Charm City A because I live in Charm City and my first initial is A. You can also find me in that box on Thursday evenings right here on the Gaming Source Network in the GSN Roundtable podcast covering the week's Stadia and GeForce Now news, as well as some other bits and pieces around the gaming internet. And debuting this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time is The Best Game of All Time, a brand new show right here on the Gaming Source Network, episode number 1 featuring Bryant Chappell of the Nerf Report and Caleb J. Ross of Play Games Think Games. I was laughing so hard I had tears rolling down my face. It is going to be a premiere. I will be in the chat chatting with folks. You can tell me if I got my judgment wrong on any of the categories, but we are debating best walking simulator of all time, and it is What Remains of Edith Finch versus Death Stranding. It was a great episode. Episode number 2.
Cannot wait.
Episode number 2 drops 2 weeks later with Todd and Mark from Co-op Mode podcast on the Secret Friends Unite network, talking about best multiplayer mechanism. You heard it here first. I haven't publicly announced that yet. So that's that show title, Best Multiplayer Mechanism. What could that mean? You'll have to tune in to find out on the 15th. But on the 1st, it's amazing. It's going to be such a good show.
And in the future, you guys will hear about a date of me versus Too Tall Porter himself in the most...
debating best controller color of Stadia.
Oh, let's go. I say wasabi. Jacob says, wait, that was my choice. And it all breaks into anarchy.
Well done.
Jacob, where can the people find you at, sir?
Too Tall Porter with the O's being zeros because someone beat me to it. I gotta say every single time because I'm still so sad about it. Like who? But yeah, that's it. And if you follow us on social, our Speaking of Stadia Twitter accounts, you like I would say like
that's
80,
where he actually tweets.
Yeah,
Speak of Stadia.
It's right down there in case you're not sure.
I have been more. I've been trying to tweet more from my actual account in general because these guys don't tweet often. But no, that's it. We are working on getting some other guests onto the show. I've been talking to essentially my cousin-in-law. Does that make sense? From Quit the Build. They do I think a few days a week, the podcast. He's been wanting to talk about some Stadia stuff on the Publix. So hoping to have him on. And
Quit the Build is going to be on Best Game Ever. Is going to be on Best Game
Ever
as well.
Yep. Awesome.
I messaged them this weekend and they were like, "Oh, hey, Jacob is on your network." I was like, "Oh, wow." So,
That's
they've
awesome.
been doing some good stuff. I've been watching. They're really fun pairing there. Really good cadence to them both. So, no, I'm glad that's awesome that they're going to be on that too. So yeah, glad they're getting into more just some branching out more. So that'd be good. And I want to try to branch out to more other people outside of. I mean, obviously, you want to bring people from the Stadia community as well, like people like you, and obviously other people. Love to have anyone else on, but want to get some people that I know have wanted to talk about Stadia that haven't had the outlet to do it. So I know Aaron has a few people from his other some of the podcasts he's been on that want to come on as well. So hopefully we'll have some more information going forward. Follow us on Twitter for all that stuff.
Yep. So yeah, as you said, stay tuned to Twitter at Speak of Stadia. You can see it down there in the bottom corner of your screen. Go ahead and tweet at us if you guys ever have any topics you want us to cover, or anything like that, or anything you ever wanted to discuss. Jacob is also more than happy to argue with you on the internet. And as for me, you can find me at Aaron Seeney on Twitter, AARONSEANEY for our audio listeners. You can also check out my other show, Awesomely Average, on Tuesdays at twitch.tv/awesomelyaverage or over on YouTube at youtube.com/awesomelyaverage. Again, that does it for this week's episode. We can't wait to talk to you again here in 2 weeks on the next episode of Speaking of Stadia. In the meantime, though, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Gaming Source Network. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers and scare the pants off Avery. That does it for everything else. For all things gaming related, be sure to stick to the Gaming Source Network. Again, I'm one of your hosts, Aaron. This is Jacob and Avery signing off. You guys have a wonderful night.